The Gorgons said, from ancient Greece and Terry White. A long time ago, in the land of Arcus, a king named Acrisius came home from Delphi with a heavy heart, for he had received a dreadful oracle. The oracle says that there will be no son be born to him, but he will have a grandson that would be the one to kill him. The king had an only daughter who was yet a maiden, so he decided to shut Danae up away from the sight of men in a house of bronze, all sunk underground, and carried out his cruel plan. But Acrisius forgot that part of the roof of the house was open to the sky. And one day, as lovely Danae sat sadly looking up at the passing clouds, Zeus beheld the maiden. When afterwards a son was born to Danae, she hid him from her father's sight. But the king discovered the baby and was more than ever filled with fear. He had a great chest built, and placed Danae and her boy in it and set them adrift upon the sea. All day and all night the chest tossed upon the waves. Danae lulled her child with song, and he slept. But when dawn came, a great wave picked up the chest and carried it close to the tiny island of Seriphus. A fisherman named Dictys saw the chest. He dragged the box and landed to open it, and he saw the pitiful mother with a helpless little child. He took them both to his wife, for Dictys was childless, and there Perseus grew up. Even though Perseus had grown up, Danae was still a beautiful maiden, and King Polydectes, Dictys' brother, fell in love with her and made her his wife. But the king hated the youth just because Danae doted on him and sought some way to get rid of him. King Polydectes sent Perseus to an adventure that would be hard, to cut off the Medusa's head. Perseus agreed and set off to find Medusa. He does not know what adventure he had undertaken. Medusa was one of the 3 Gorgons and are hard to kill. And Medusa was the only one that could be slain. On his journey, he beheld a young man wearing winged sandals and winged cup, carrying in his hand a wand around which 2 golden serpents twine. Hermes told Perseus the things that he needs in order to get the Medusa's head. Hermes told Perseus to go to the grey woman and snatch her eye, for them to tell him the way to the nymphs of the north who possess the 3 priceless things he needs. Hermes gave Perseus a magnificent curved sword. Perseus had just taken the sword when there was a sudden brightness in the sky, and he beheld the goddess Athene descending toward him. The goddess Athena gave Perseus a shield that would make him see the Medusa reflected as in a mirror. After giving the shield, the goddess disappeared, and the brightness with her. Perseus continued his journey and finally reached the Grey Women. He then snatched the eye of the Grey Women, and the Grey Women realized that the stranger had her eye. They were helpless, and in the end, they told Perseus the way to the nymphs of the north. Perseus went to the nymphs of the north, who possessed the priceless things that he needs, and when the nymphs heard the reason, they wanted it, and they were willing to give him the wing shoes, the helmet that would make him invisible, and the magic wallet that would become the right size for whatever he wished to carry. Then he reached the fearful island of the Gorgons. Then he saw Medusa reflected in his shield. The Gorgon immediately fell asleep. He suddenly heard Athena's voice telling him that the nearest Gorgon to the shore is Medusa. He then stroked his sword and cut off the grisly head and put it in the magic wallet. On his way back home, he saw a lovely maiden along a cliff. He was willing to save the lady named Andromeda from the monster in exchange of a marriage with him. Perseus successfully killed the monster and saw Andromeda standing free. At that very day, the wedding was celebrated. Now, while the marriage feast is at its height, the door of the banquet hall was suddenly flung open, and in burst a mob of shouting raucous men. Foremost stood Andromeda's uncle, Phineus, in javelin hand. He won't agree with the marriage between Perseus and Andromeda, so he started a big fight. Perseus knew that they can beat Phineus' companion, and so he used the horrible Medusa's head. That was the last time Perseus ever used the horrible head. He sailed home with Andromeda and gave it most willingly to Athene, who kept it ever after.